Hello, it's Ranny Duck and welcome back for another video. And today we've got two replays to show you in the tier 10 mercenary medium tank, the Chisel. And we have for the first replay here on 7 Groska, and we're actually be tuned up in a 3-man platoon with Swindle 321 and Gambit. Now there's one enemy artillery in this game and no enemy light tanks. Now if you want to see the crew and equipment setup I'm choosing to run in the Chisel, you'll be able to see that at the bottom of the screen as I speak. But initially we're going to all push together down to the sort of C2 area of the map, see if we can get in a fight, see what, how many tanks come this way. Quite often you have to be a little bit careful because you can get into a bit of a corridor fight there, where if you've got lots of sort of nasty big TDs and guns in front of you, it can be a little bit awkward, as well as the enemy artillery, enemy fun police, which might be shooting you from the sky, so you've got to be a little bit careful and cautious of that. But initially, we are in a 3-man platoon, so hopefully we can try and win this side, and then more often than not, we'll probably have to come back to defend our base, because if you look at the mini-map, I can already see about 4 tanks pushing on the other side, so they definitely have an advantage on that side. We don't have many tanks that way, so it's looking very likely that we will have to come back to defend the base. But that means we do need to win this side as quickly as possible, because otherwise we'll be trapped, having to fight tanks in front of us and behind. So that's exactly what we do here. There is also quite a few tanks in front of us, and they are all in one grid square because it is that sort of corridor fight, which makes life difficult. Now early doors we do get a shot into his T58 heavy, and we bounce one in return. So we know he's only got 2 shots left, but obviously he's got a 750 alpha, so we don't really want to eat one, but we also need to pick up the pace and try and kill him. Unfortunately we do eat one because I wasn't able to reverse back because I had a tank coming behind us, which wasn't ideal. He has only got 1 shot left in the clip here, and he is a 2-shot to us. He's bounced now, so we know he's out. He is on reload, so we can push to try and kill him. So we're going to try and do that as well. I think there was an Avery around this corner, which we are a little bit concerned about because obviously he's an Avery. We don't want to eat all that damage if he full pens us. But we are starting to win this side now. Like I say, the 58 heavy was on reload, so that gives us an opportunity to pick up the kill on him. We end up killing the Leopard PTA. There's only one little medium here, and then this enemy tank destroyer in front of us. Looks like he's going to get taken out, and I'm thinking, right, it's time to turn now. We've won this side. I'm not going to make the mistake of continuing to push to their base, only to be then capped out by the enemy team pushing to our base. We're going to move as early as we can and try and get back so we're able to get that reset. Now we're on about 1,500 damage. You've got 1 kill. We've got about sort of 1,200 hit points, remaining. So we haven't had an amazing game, but there is also still a lot of damage available. Still 12 tanks, still 65% hit points remaining. So we should hopefully be able to get into a good position to try and pick up some more damage on these tanks. Like I said, I just don't want to get capped out if they all start sitting in the cap circle, so I need to get myself a little bit closer. And thankfully I've got the platoon mates to come with me, so we are able to get that support. So far the enemy team haven't, although they've pushed this side, they haven't got into the cap circle, which is nice, which means we can play a little bit more passively. There is quite a few tanks in front of us, we don't have to rush anything here. Enemy mouse is full sending us. He has fired. I'm going to put one through his lower plate. We've got Gambit here trying to put a clip into this mouse. The mouse looks very much like he's just going to full focus Gambit here. We do damage his ammo rack, or his ammo rack gets damaged, which is good. That's going to nerf his DPM here. You never know, might be able to ammo rack him as well. So we're going to push in here, trying to get, I'm actually just trying to get his focus, to be honest, to stop him shooting Gambit because I've got more hit points. But then we get a medium tank in the Thankyou come behind us with the flamethrower. His flamethrower's on reload. Unfortunately I've bounced that shot, which is not great here. Unfortunately Swindle 321 gets taken out on the other side by the enemy T30, but we are able to take out that Senjutsu. Our platoon mate Gambit unfortunately gets taken out as well. I probably maybe could have done a better job getting in the way that Senjutsu to stop him shooting him. But then we have this enemy gorilla here, and it's still actually a very close game here. 7 versus 8. Technically we're losing. I'm a 2-shot to this gorilla, but I am hold down to him, and I'm just going to try and just get these shots in while remaining hold down because I don't really want to eat the damage off of him. He's shot, he's fired, he's bounced, so he is on a reload. But if I think I push into him there, it probably will put one into us. So we've got to be careful of that T30 behind us, which is trying to get shots into us. Gorillas is hopefully going to get taken out here, which will free up that angle. He does. He gets shut down by our friendly Avery. We're on about 4,000 damage, 2 kills with 1 minute on the clock. So I need to start making my way over to that base to try and get that reset. I don't want to leave it too late and get capped out here. We're applying cap pressure on the other side as well. I'll say that we have the advantage now in the tank numbers, but the hit points are still very close at this point. So this game is certainly not won. Now the T30 is in an annoying position because I don't really want to eat a shot pushing in, but at the same time there's 35 seconds left on the clock. If I just stay here, I'm not going to be able to get the reset. So I'm going to have to push in and try and ignore the T30 and hope my 2 medium tanks which are coming in can maybe try and put some shots into him. T30 is full centers, but I need to get the reset here, so I'm going to ignore the T30. I bounce the reset, but some of those already got it, which is kind of awkward because I've lost a lot of hit points to that T30 basically trying to get that reset. Would have been better in the end just to shoot the T30, but I didn't know that my team was going to be able to secure the reset or not. So I am now on the one shot with 243 hit points remaining. Enemy heavy tank is full pushing me, but we're able to shut him down with the help of our team, putting us under 5,000 damage now, 3 kills and 1,800 assistance, and it's in a 4 versus 3. So the game is certainly not won. But hopefully we can try and take out these tanks who I suspect have now gone back, honestly killed the tanks, our friendly tanks which were capping out, so we know roughly where they are. I just have to be cautious just because of my hit point pool. Like I am a one shot to the 3 remaining tanks on the enemy team, so I don't want to get taken out because then it's always that way, you end up losing the game if you do. So I need to make sure I keep my tank in the game, but I'm trying to push over to a position where I can cross fire any tanks which are in the enemy base, because our friendly medium tanks pushing down the 2 line. I suspect we might be able to catch a couple of tanks out here. We do shut down the enemy T32 Proto, and we spot their TD who quickly gets put onto a one shot as well. We are now in a 4 versus 2. Now I tried to chance that shot in, but he is now looking at us. I wasn't able to get the kill in, and I'm going to have to wait for my team. I don't want to throw the victory here. I'm just going to hope for my team move in. Hopefully someone's got a bit more hit points than me, and they can maybe make this tank fire and then we're able to shut him down. It will be ideal. So far it doesn't seem to be happening, but our medium tank is pushing down the sort of 2 line, as you can see, so it might detect one of their other tank destroyers if we're lucky. Might be able to get a shot into him. One tank does get spotted. That was the enemy TD, I believe, which was in front of me, the enemy V5. So I'm going to move in now. As I can see, I've got an opportunity to get a little bit closer, get to this next ridge line and extend my vision, and hopefully see if we can finish a tank off. But again, like I said, I'm being really cautious because it's a 4 versus 2. I just don't want to throw the game because I don't know where the other TD is. Here he is, it's the enemy Sturb. We are able to get a shot into him, puts us on about just shy of 6,000 damage. We should be able to get the finish unless our team finish him off. No, we're able to pick up the kill, confirming our 5th kill and bringing us into replay number 1. But we do have one more replay to come, which is the best replay of the bunch. But this one we finish off with 5 kills, 6,000 damage and 2,000 assistance, confirming the ace tanker and the high caliber. So let's move on to replay number 2. Okay, so here we are for the final replay then on Proc, where we have 1 enemy artillery and 1 enemy light tank to contend with. Now initially we're going to go and try and play the ridges and see if we can spot the enemy tanks on the ridge and just get a bit of information. Obviously the biggest concern I have is the enemy artillery on Proc, because it can be a bit of a nightmare when you're trying to make plays to try and help your team win. He's obviously going to be punishing you when you're in key areas, and there's not many places to hide, but I do also want to try and keep vision for my team, so we can try and get the victory. So far we've spotted, or the enemy light tank's been spotted, and we've seen where the artillery tracer has come from, and it was at the sort of A sort of 2-3 area, so we've got a rough idea where he is. You can see he's just fired at us there. Our friendly Cranraven has just gone into the bowl. He has spotted some of these TDs. It means the enemy artillery is probably going to focus him now because it's in the bowl. So I'm going to use that opportunity to try and get as much damage in as these targets as possible. So far we put one into the Fosh, tried to blind fire him. Unfortunately the second one didn't connect here. But we're in a good position so far. And we're just going to try and do our best. Just, like I say, I want to get the punish in whilst they are shooting at our friendly heavy tank in the bowl, because once he's destroyed, then that means they're going to start focusing at us. So the enemy tanks here though are actually pushing quite aggressive down the 1-2 line. E100 is pushing and lost a majority of his hit points, and the T30 is trying to do the same. I think we'll probably be able to take them out though, which is good news for us. We're looking for the finish on E100. We're only sort of snapping shots in just because we know there's TDs which are not spotted, which can potentially shoot at our turret. So we don't want to expose our turret for longer than we need to. We're able, with the help of our friendly medium tank, able to shut down that T30 there and pick up our first kill of the game. And so far so good. We're taking an early lead in this battle, and we do seem to take an early lead at the start of this game, but it doesn't stay that way, let's say the least. We try and snap one into Sturv. Again, a difficult pen unless I'm penning his cupola, but I didn't want to aim it that much because I just didn't want to run the risk of getting shot by the other tanks. We wanted to try and keep our hit points if we can. Now it looks like a lot of the enemy tanks have pushed onto the 9-0 area. As you can see, we only really have 2 tanks there, but it will take a while for the enemy team to push them. And I'm thinking, right, if they do push, I was just hoping to be in a position to farm them if they try and go over the top of that hill, try and get some damage in over this sort of area. So far I haven't really had any good opportunities for shots, but I'm moving a little bit further forward now and see if I can get any better shots in there. But as that happens, we do actually spot the enemy Fun Police, enemy artillery leaving, and I am going to risk a poke here to get a shot into that tank, because we're able to get out the artillery, then it's just going to make our life so much easier. And thankfully for us, our friendly Cranvan actually manages to shut down the enemy artillery, and now we don't have to worry about that. And as you can see, we have taken the early lead on the kills and the hit points, but the enemy team are starting to bring it a little bit back. But I got the census now, because you saw how many tanks were spotted in the sort of 9-0, but there's not actually that much down this side, especially when you see the enemy artillery which was running earlier. So I'm going to make an aggressive push here. Now, it's sort of an educated gamble, but I want to try and push as fast as I can to light these tanks, so hope to pick up a bit of assistance, because I know that most of the enemy force is on the hill on the sort of right hand side of the map. So I am full sending across. You see the Sturv is running. It's a very good indicator there's no one down the 1-2 line, and you see we have now taken full control of the 1-2 line. I've spotted these enemy tanks out in the open, and I've managed to pick up a little bit of assistance here. I'm just trying to put the pressure on the enemy team. Now we actually have managed to take a 4-tank lead, and you think, right, this is going to be easy now, right? It just mop up the rest of the damage, but this is where it starts to go a little bit wrong for our team, unfortunately. Now we've got this Jag E100 which is sat just underneath this ridge here, directly in front of us. That is preventing us sort of really poking this ridge, because you can see we poke up a little bit higher, we are going to lose over 1,000 hit points to that tank. So we can't do that, which is not really ideal. But our friendly tank has gone straight into him, so I'm going to take the opportunity to shoot the Batchat, because otherwise the Batchat is just going to be dumping clips into this friendly nemesis here. We do at least get one shot into the nemesis. We know the Jag is on reload, but again, it's just not a good poke. So I'm thinking, right, I'm going to move positions, see if we can work some magic elsewhere. Spot an enemy Soviet medium tank here. Maybe we can get a shot into that tank, but again, he's probably got cover from the hill. Got to also be careful of the enemy Jag as well, who is still alive. So I'm going to try and get a shot into the Batchat here as he leaves. Unfortunately, I don't manage to connect, and I eat a shot in return from some of the enemy tanks which are still on the hill. And this game has gone now to a 7 versus 7, so it's even at the moment, and the hit points are in our favour, but still fairly close. Going to try and get one into this enemy Soviet medium tank. I do manage to do so, but I also lose a shot of damage as well from the hill, and that poke is just not doable anymore. It's not viable. So I'm going to give up this position. As you can see, enemy tanks, at least 3 of them, have now come off of the hill and started to push towards our base. Maybe I can get into a position to try and get some shots into those. I'm getting pinged on the map here, yeah, okay, whatever. But we're going to move on and try and get some more damage. So we're going to see if we can maybe actually get some damage in these tanks crossing. The Bat Chat's the key target. He's a one-shot. He's a dangerous vision tank when enemy light tanks are removed. Thankfully, we were able to take him out. I think the 50B on the hill is also a one-shot, so that's just important information to note. And we managed to spot this enemy Highlander in the open. So we're just trying to get the punish if we can. We're going to see if we can extend our vision and get another shot in before we can get to safety, which would be nice. We do. I think we damage his fuel tank as well, putting us on to 3,400 damage with 3 kills. And we're looking to try and squeeze in another one. We do this time. We actually do get detected for it, so we've got to pull back into safety. As like I say, there's still, I think, at least a 50B on the hill, which could put another shot into us. So we've got to be careful of that. The enemy Yagi 100 still alive, and there's another TD in the enemy team as well, so we've got to be a bit careful. I was poking again to try and get a shot into this Highlander, but I'm getting detected for it, and I don't want to get clipped out by the 50B. There is 2 enemy TDs moving in now towards, coming towards our base area. I saw the Yagi 100 there was one shot, so I'm thinking, can I cut him off and maybe just get a shot in, take out that tank, because it's a 5 versus 5 here. As I say, this game, it's gone from a position where we were sort of reasonably heavily winning, and now it's a very, very close game, and it's in the balance. And I'm pretty sure if I die, I think this game will lose. So I need to make sure I try and play this safe. So we checked the corner, so we were able to cross. We want to make sure the Yag wasn't there. We are now. Now, if this Yag comes over the top, thankfully he's a one-shot, we'll be able to shut him down. But I'm going to try and see if I can find a way to get a shot into him, but I can't really poke whilst he's staring at me. Again, there's a 50B on the hill as well, so we might, at least there was a 50B on the hill, so we don't want to eat a shot off of him. Highlander there, unfortunately we just do eat a shot off of the 50B, which is not ideal, and the Yagi 100 is looking at us. We do have a friendly TD is moving up to try and help us. I've also got friendly artillery in the game, who actually goes on to have a really good game, by the way. So I'm hoping maybe we shoot this Yag, which will help us out. But the Yag has actually turned. I am going to take that opportunity to finish off that Yagi 100 and then get straight back into the cover because the 50B is looking to shoot us. And we managed to pick up 4,000 damage and 4 kills. But now I've decided, right, I think it's time to run, because you can see our friendly Tortoise has got shut down on the other side in the 4-5 line. If I stay where I am, I'm just going to get shut down by those tanks in the middle, because I'm not going to have anywhere safe to go. So at this point, I'm thinking my best thing to do is, can I get to the 1-2 line undetected, and then we can try and push out from there, because I do want to push out vision for my friendly artillery, because the second they get close to our artillery, then he's not going to be able to do anything. And obviously, if I'm going to win this game, I'm going to need his help, because technically it's a 3 versus 4, but realistically, I think our friendly heavy tank there is just AFK and he's not playing the game. So we are actually in a 2 versus 4 at the moment. The only thing I can use our friendly heavy tank for this point is just hit points to try and farm when they were shooting him. We spot the enemy medium tank here. I don't fire straight away because I don't want to get detected. I'm going to wait till he moves and see if I can shoot a few bushes. Spot the enemy Yagi 100 here is a one shot. I'm hoping to pick up the kill. Unfortunately, we just lose his spot before it was possible to get that shot in. So now we know we've got the enemy Yagi 100 who is a one shot, the 50B is a one shot, and then we've got this heavy medium tank who's on the most hit points. But we're able to put one into him, puts him onto a 2 shot in, and he's leaving. Now that's quite useful information, because that means we might be able to try and push in and kill this Yag, or try and spot him again. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to try and get down to sort of the push a little bit down the 1-2 line to try and spot this Yagi 100 and see if we can finish off that tank, and then that would leave us try and kill that medium tank. So we are able to shut down that Yag, which is good. We're on 609 hit points, so we can eat one shot off of this medium tank unless we get very, very unlucky. But we're on 5,000 damage, 5 kills. Thankfully, our friendly artillery actually puts a shot into this medium tank. That might put him on to potential 1 shot, but more likely a 2. He is a definite 1 shot now if we do manage to land that kill in. and that means the 50B's a one shot, this medium tank's a one shot, and the Highlander is probably a two shot to us at this point. But we're on 5 kills with a real opportunity to try and get a Devastator medal here. I think the medium tank is going to be moving in for our artillery, so I want to spot that tank before that happens, see if we can finish him off here. I do spot the medium tank, but I also spot the 50B. 50B bounces us, and we're able to snap that shot in. That kill there was huge, because that was a very frustrating angle. This now means I'm able to kill that medium tank before he gets over on the artillery. We know the Highlander is there, but we've lost our spot. We're just waiting. That medium tank's going to climb over for artillery, and we can put a shot in. And at this point, I'm thinking, right, I think I've won now. I've got the 5,000 damage, got the 7 kills. Can I put one shot into this tank? Unfortunately, we don't roll high enough to kill him. But like I say, he's a one shot to us now, and we should be able to eat one off of him if need be. But I also don't want to risk dying here, so I'm going to be patient, because as he's pushing us, we've got our friendly artillery, can put shots into him here as well. So yeah, I don't want to throw this game away to try and get the 8th kill after how hard we've worked here. So I'm just waiting for him to try and push us, and hopefully exposes a bit of his armour. We're able to get a pen in here, but I don't need to, because our friendly T92 shuts him down for us. And that brings us then to the replay. So how do we get on? We get 6,000 damage with the 7 kills, 1,400 assistance, and we do get the ace tanker and the high caliber. So thank you so much for your amazing support, and as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!